Man, oh man, it's been a long time, hasn't it? It's been a long time since we've streamed. I figured I really wanted to come back in style. You know, I don't want to do just a regular stream talking about the news. The first stream of 2024, sorry, has to be a really good one, and I think we have it because, ladies and gentlemen, in just a couple of minutes at 5 o'clock, Christie is scheduled to make his announcement at a town hall in New Hampshire, where he, at least allegedly, is going to be dropping out of the presidential race. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be a fun time. Let's all grab our popcorn, sit back, watch, and enjoy the end of Christie, or so we're told. I don't know. I mean, the guy's kind of like, I forget the movie character I'm thinking of right now, but you know, the bad guy who just keeps coming back to life. That basically is Christie. It's so true. But all right, yeah, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and we are live. Welcome back. So, as you have heard the news, Christie, in just now 3 minutes, is reportedly scheduled to drop out of the presidential race. Now, we're streaming. The whole world is holding its breath and, frankly, its mouth and its stomach for this grand event. But at the same time, who knows? I mean, this was just something that was reported heavily in the press. He may have just thrown a total deep fake. He could have just thrown a fake news, and he declares, "No, Donald Trump, I'm writing you all the way to the convention immunity," because, you know, that was actually what was rumored that Christie was gonna do, and frankly, I'm kind of sad, to tell you the truth. I don't like Christie, obviously. At the same time, though, he's kind of a running joke. He's a meme, and I was really hoping, I thought it would be great content if he stubbornly, because look at, he was, the fact that he didn't drop out of this race in like November or December did show a high degree of stubbornness, right? It showed he is going to ride this to the end. He's going to take Donald Trump all the way to the convention. And I was really hoping he would go all the way to the RNC in the summer with his whole 5 or 6 delegates or however many he would get, and just show up to the convention, act like an idiot and say, "I'm still not dropping out, Donald Trump. Yeah, I only have 5 delegates from one state, but we're coming for you, Donald Trump. We're going to contest the convention." It would have been hilarious. It would have been great content, but apparently that is, at least allegedly here, not happening. So let's actually tune into the live feed and make sure that I have everything set up right, because it has been a while since I've streamed, and I actually need to make sure that the sound is working correctly, because I may or may not have forgotten to do that. But there's no sound right now, so I guess we're just gonna have to find out in a couple of minutes. But yeah, this is the news. We will be streaming either the GOP debate or the Trump town hall or the Vivek town hall later tonight at 9 p.m. So stay tuned for that. I'll kind of ask the audience after this announcement and this stream what exactly you guys want to watch. We can talk about that later. But, you know, we're just a week away from the Iowa caucus, and Christie's going to be dropping out, which seems to suggest to me that he's kind of trying to throw his support behind Nikki Haley, because that's who it helps the most, right? Doesn't do anything for Donald Trump, because not a single person who supported Christie is going to flip to Donald Trump. It may give a handful of voters to DeSantis, but realistically, we know where those are all going, right? You have a few anti-Trumpers that might kind of still like DeSantis for some reason, but ultimately, this is going to help Nikki Haley. She is definitely gunning for second place next week in the Iowa caucus. It's going to be a really bad thing for Ron DeSantis if that happens. I personally, to tell you the truth, just don't really want to see that. I don't want to see Nikki Haley come in second at all. But, you know, that does seem like it's sort of destined to happen if this ends up benefiting Nikki like you would think it was. So, very interesting. If I were to guess, maybe they made a backdoor deal. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, we are tuned in, folks, to the live feed, awaiting the Christie announcement. He's going to come on. He's eating a nice meal right now. And by the way, on that front, you know, I know everyone's going to miss making the fat jokes, okay? which I never made, by the way, okay? Because that is cruel, okay? That is hate speech. That is fat. You know, I would never do such a thing. But I know many people are going to miss that. But, you know, I say to those people, truly, it was never about the fat jokes. It was about the friends you made along the way. Isn't that so true? It's always like that. It's about the friends you made along the way. And this is all very real. So, folks, while we sit here and await for Christie to formally drop out of the presidential race, want to remind you to be sure to leave a like on the stream. Let's get the stream to 50 likes. We have almost 100 live viewers, so everyone be sure to hit that like button. And if you would like to super chat the show, feel free to do so as well. We have a little free time right now while Christie eats his dinner to read super chats. And of course, we'll read them after the speech ends as well. Hopefully, assuming the speech doesn't go 3 hours, because if you ever watch some of those old Christie town halls, the guy does not know when to quit yapping, like ever. Okay. But yeah, let me know though how you guys feel about this. I mean, obviously, we're all laughing at Mr. Tough Guy. I'm Donald Trump's worst nightmare drops out before the Iowa caucus. Yeah, he was real scared of you, Christie. You know, the reason he wasn't showing up to the debates was not because he's killing it in the polls and has no reason to. No. It's because he's scared of Christie's gonna confront him on his lies. But at the same time, I am gonna kind of miss the guy. To tell you the truth, I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way, but, you know, especially when Mike Pence dropped out of the race, who was one of my favorite circus acts to make fun of because he just is so sanctimonious. He thinks he's Ronald Reagan and he's just not. Behind Mike Pence, I would argue the best candidate in this field to make fun of constantly was Christie. And so now that he's gone, where are all the jokes going to go? You know? I mean, we rip on Nikki Haley a lot, so we still got plenty of time on that front, but I don't know. Haha, Ron DeSantis wears high heels. It's just not as funny. It just really doesn't hit the same. So the comic relief is dying out. We now have to pretend like it's a serious primary, even though, you know, Donald Trump is likely going to win it by a landslide, but this is all very true. All right, Scuffed Ryan Gosling for $5 says, lol, he's obese. Wait, let me play the super chat. Okay, Streamlabs, what are you doing? Okay, he says, lol, he is obese, referring to Christie. Ryan Gosling, the correct term is Krispy Kreme plus-sized muncher, okay? Don't you know obese is offensive language, Ryan Gosling? Okay, in 2024, we're all updating our vocabulary by referring to him as Krispy Kreme. What did I even say? I don't know. I'm joking, of course. Yes, he is obviously morbidly obese. So thank you for the 5, Ryan Gosling. Again, folks, if you would like to super chat to support the show and to break up the dead air in between our waiting, feel free to do so, because I really don't have much else to say about Christie. I mean, what else is there to say beyond what I've already established? Yeah, the guy's candidacy was always a joke. The tough guy act never sold to anyone, okay? He just came off. Actually, here's one thing I have to say. Hopefully, I'll be able to make the point in the time I have that I'm just sitting here killing time, which is, I think one of the biggest problems with Christie and why he never came off as appealing to basically anyone is because he just always came across as bitter and angry, right? Resentful. And when you understand why Christie really is running to begin with, that really is the origin, right? He's just bitter, angry, and resentful towards Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, are we back? Hold on, I gotta make sure the audio work correctly. Hold on, give me a second. But ladies and gentlemen, are we back? Folks? All right, hold on. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna reset the audio because, like I said, it's been a while since I've even opened this stream freaking thing. But yeah, like I was saying, one of the big problems with Christie is that when now grievance is a real thing in politics. A lot of people have grievances. Okay, hold on a second. Uh-oh, God. I may have broken it. I may have broken it. Hold on. No! Chat, it's over. It's over. I broke the thing. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. But anyways, as I was saying, and one of the big problems with a lot of people, and by the way, this is something that both sides of the political aisle can sometimes fall into, it's a trap for sure, is when you just sound like needlessly resentful, when you just sound like, sorry, I'm talking and trying to do this at the same time, so please forgive me if I don't make sense. But when you sound bitter, right? And there are there are quite a few, frankly, examples of this. I would argue Ann Coulter, who is someone I used to like back in the day. And sometimes when it comes to criticism of Donald Trump, you could argue she makes some valid points. But when you really break it down, right? A lot of what she comes off across as these days in terms of just everything Donald Trump does is bad and just won't ever give the guy a break. And, you know, some of her takes just seem unhinged and deranged at times. It really breaks down to, again, when you come across as like you really just personally don't like a person and you're driven by resentment, that doesn't really sell to people. Right. And I think you see with Christie, the fact that he would not shut up about Donald Trump during this race. You know, he could never stop. Like the guy lived rent free in his head. I think it's a similar story. And it's honestly an important lesson on something I think all of us need to be careful, especially in 2024, to avoid, which is, yes, we all have our grievances against certain people, against things that happen in our politics. But at the same time, I think it's important sometimes to not come across as, like I said, just kind of like bitter, angry, and resentful because, you know, when you do this, and an example of the left doing this, in my opinion, is when they still cry about slavery, even though it was hundreds of years ago and nobody's impacted by slavery today, but it's the only thing they ever talk about, or racism or whatever, right? All these types of talking points. Again, the reason they're not convincing is because they just sound like cope, right? In many ways, and that's what they are. And I think it's important that Republicans avoid this too. And if I were to break it down, that really is the biggest reason Christie failed. Is because all the time he just sounds, again, bitter, angry, and resentful, and this is very real. So anyways, that's the point I was just trying to make here. All right, the audio should work now. Sorry about that. Let me make sure it does, though. I don't think we're getting any audio from their feed, but let's see. All right, we're just gonna have to see when he comes on to make sure the sound is working, because I've now done all I can do. Okay, so it should be working. It should be working. All right, compressor on. Okay, all right, we should be good to go in terms of audio. There we go. Hopefully it does. All right, not that I think anyone particularly necessarily cares so much to hear Christie talk. It would honestly be kind of funny to watch the whole thing on mute, to tell you the truth, but that was not my intention with this stream, okay? So, all right. Anyways, let's get caught up here on our super chats and member chats. Zachary sends a member chat for 9 months saying, bad news, I am likely going to have to come into work for plowing the blizzard, literally as my county's pooled caucuses start. If an emergency is declared for that, I am out for the entire primary. Well, sorry to hear that, Zachary. You live in Washington, right? You told me. Oh,
they don't want to hear it. We know we're right, but they don't want to hear it. Right. And there's, you know, we couldn't have been any clearer. Right.
What's going on?
Any more director.
I'll read your super chats in a second. What's going on?
You know.
Forget she spent $68 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
turn on the camera.
Oh, when you give land to China and places
what?
like that.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, she spent $68 million so
This
far.
is how we're going out? Is this a hot mic?
So far.
What's going on?
$59 million by DeSantis, and we spent 12.
Chat, what is going on?
Weight and who's getting a return on their investment, you know? And she's going to get smoked, and you and I both know it. She's not up to this.
she hasn't even been.
And she's still 20 points behind Trump in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
And he's still going to carry out.
What's going
Yes.
on?
Oh, I talked to.
This is not me.
DeSantis
Their
me.
camera's not on.
Petrified that I would.
He's probably getting out after Iowa.
Well,
Oh. And then we lost the sound again, folks.
petrified.
What is happening? You're dropping out. This is your last hurrah. This is like your legacy in the race. And you can't even get the camera to work. Ladies and gentlemen, Christie 2024. Okay, anyways, while we wait for that, let's get back to reading these super chats. Zach, thanks for the member chat. But you live in Washington, don't you? So I think their primary or caucus isn't for a while. But thank you for the 5. Pro-American for 5 says, the final Christie town hall. Can we get an F in the chat for the end of the memes? Yes, feel free to do so. Now, does the F stand for F to pay respects? Or does it stand for fat? That's up to you. That's up to your interpretation. But yeah, feel free to leave an F in the chat for the memes. GOP Josh becomes a channel member. Thank you, GOP Josh. Good to see you as always. GOP Josh, a man described as a rising young conservative activist by President Donald Trump. So real. Thank you, GOP Josh. Appreciate it. Chaotic Antifreeze for $5 says, House Steiner is way better than Kurita and Liao. The only house that comes close to the greatness of Steiner is Davion. Chaotic Antifreeze, I have no idea what you're talking about, but thank you for the 5. Nonetheless, I appreciate it. And let's see, what else do we have here with the super chats? GOP Josh gifted like 4 VinceDao memberships. Thank you very much. GOP Josh going crazy. The alpha male money rolling well, I see. I appreciate it. And Gianna says, you wish you had Chris Crispy's model thighs. Admit it. Thank you for the 5, Gianna. Yeah, no, I don't think I do. I think my thighs are of adequate size. You know, I don't have stick legs. And I don't see the need to overcompensate. Okay. But thank you for the 5 nonetheless. And yeah, I see everyone's paying F in the chat. Some are saying F for fat. Some are saying F to pay respects. Again, I don't know what happened. Their stream just came on for 1 second and then it totally tuned out. So I'm very confused. I'm just as confused as you guys. The sound has yet to come back on. And this is what's happening at the moment, I suppose. So, you know, you would think it's your final dropout, right? It's your final moment, and they can't even get this to work correctly. And you guys say my streams have technical problems, okay? Everyone, oh, Vince doesn't know how to use his computer. Look at these people, okay? Look at these people. At least I'm not on salary with the presidential campaign. All right, Zachary for $5 says, presidential primary was moved up to March, and this pooled caucus is a prerequisite. Thank you for the 5. Okay, well, I'm not familiar with how Washington's system works, but good to know. Good to know. Very interesting. It's just a prank, bro. It is just a prank. Like I said, maybe he's not really dropping out. You know, I don't know how many people have considered that possibility, but I have. I have. Okay? Who's to say that he says, I'm going to drop out, and then he just is like, no, Donald, I'm coming for you. All right? All right, now the stream is buffering. Very interesting, chat. Again, I don't know what's going on. Let me see if either stream has... No, neither stream has audio. Okay? I don't know why this one is buffering. But apparently none of them are actually working. Apparently. Let me, let's see. Let me try refreshing this, I guess. Is that an option? Oh. Chat, what? No, they ended the stream! There's no way! There's no way! No! Chris! What are you doing? We needed you to drop out, I mean, but we needed you. They just took it down. They just took it down and deleted the stream. There's no way that just happened. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, Christie, everyone. Round of applause. Round of applause. Dun 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 dun. Dude, what in the world was that? So they couldn't get the camera to work, so they just took down the stream. All right, let me see. Are they making a new stream? Are they making a new stream? I don't see one as of yet, chat. I'm looking on the channel right now. Let's go to Twitter and see if anything is going on. But I cannot believe that. There's no way that just happened. Oh my gosh. I feel robbed. To tell you the truth, I feel robbed. Okay? I was in this to see the end. Okay? All right, I wanted to see Christie play My Way by Frank Sinatra. That would have actually been classy for him, okay? Because you can't deny, as much of a fool as he is, he has done it his way. And ride off into the sunset with a giant cheesecake. And instead, this is what we get. Unbelievable. All right, so we're going to stand by for a couple minutes and see if they end up starting a new stream. But in the meantime, let's get caught up on our super chats. GOP Josh for $7.14 says, never forget 714. GOP Josh, I appreciate the $7.14, but I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, is that some type of MK Ultra brainwashing that they've done into you to make you think that it was a real thing? Because that has actually never happened. It was never a real thing. Okay. But, you know, like I said, MK Ultra is real. So, I already read that one. Let's see. Zachary. Oh, I did read that one already. Okay. Chaotic Antifreeze for $2 says the Thunderbolt 5 SS is the best battle mech. Okay. Thank you for the $2, Chaotic Antifreeze. I still don't know exactly what you're referring to. Is it a game or something? Or Warbirds, I have no idea, but thank you nonetheless. Real Texan Politics sends a member chat saying that's what happens when Crispy has DEI, or he actually spells it DIE, which maybe that is the right way to spell diversity, inclusion, and equity. Hires running the show, sad but expected and deserved. It is expected and deserved, but it is sad. We were like robbed of the victory. Okay, because I think part of the victory of seeing Christie drop out was going to see him say the words, I hereby Christie, and dropping out of the presidential race. And instead of getting that, we get this. Okay, the video is unavailable. They cut the feed. They cut the feed. When we were waiting, the whole world was waiting to see him drop out of the race. All right. It's unbelievable. Maybe this will be fun. Let's read some of Christie's live chat while we sit here and wait. We see this guy says Trump 2024, hot mic, and the Fed, more hot mic, I want intrigue. Go screen grab the hot mic moment and save before Christie and his thugs eat it. Yeah, that's so real. They did eat it. Look, video is unavailable. Like, we can't even find it. We can't even find it. So I hope you guys go back on this stream and screen record it, because the stream is unfindable now. But let me refresh really quickly and see if... Okay. All right. They're starting a new stream. Ladies and gentlemen, they're starting a new stream. We are back. All right. We got the tease. Now we're going to get the main event, I suppose. Here we go. I guess they just scheduled a new stream. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. So feel free if you want. Don't leave our stream, but open a new tab. Feel free to go to the live chat and, make all of your necessary jokes about the hot mic moment, because that was hilarious. But yeah, they've apparently started a new stream. So let's see if it starts working now. Okay. I still can't believe it. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Unbelievable. Okay. You people can't do anything right. Frankly, that is worse than anything I've ever done on my streams. And let's say it, there's been a lot of problems. Okay, most of them are not my fault. It has to do with my internet, which sucks. But let's be real. Let's be real. I've never done something that bad. Not even quote unquote 714, which is some type of MK Ultra thing they've programmed into some of my fans to believing I did. Not true, but this is real. Okay? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So you see the live chat now asking if there is audio. Good question, live chat. I personally have no idea either. But let's see. We're waiting. It says it's scheduled to start at 5:20 p.m. It's now 5:21. So, you know, he's late. But I get it. He has a big dinner to eat, right? So, you know, show the stream chat on Christie's stream. All right. While we wait, we could show that. So as you can see, I like this guy Juan Goated. He just says LLL. That is indeed what just happened. That is indeed what just happened. I don't encourage the spamming on any live chat, but his sentiment, he's got the right idea. Okay, he's in the right ballpark in my opinion. You see this? LMAO, I thought maybe Christie changed his mind. Yeah, well, maybe that's what's happening. We don't... Oh, we're live. Here we go. And there's still no audio. Ladies and gentlemen, Christie, everyone. It's still not working. It's now live. As you can see, it's a live video feed. But there's still nothing going on. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, no way.
How are you? Good to see you. Thank you. See ya. See ya. Thanks for being here. Hey, thanks for being here.
Here he comes.
Man, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Someone play the tuba sound.
Thanks for being here.
Dun 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 dun.
Break my heart.
No. How are you? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. See you,
Great
Mark.
to see you, sir. You look great.
Thank you. Chairman, good to see you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All right, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening. Thank you all for coming tonight. This is one of the cooler venues we've been to here, right? And happy to be here in Wyndham. Thank you all for taking the time to come. Glad we're having better weather than we had yesterday. We were up in Rochester yesterday, and it was snowing. Like
all right, there he
real
is.
New Hampshire snow. So it was good to experience that. So thank you all for coming tonight. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your support. You know, we start these town halls the same way. I've started them the same way ever since we were up at St. Anselm's in June to tell you why we're in this race.
Well, you're not.
And we're in this race to tell the truth. From the beginning, we've been in this race to tell the truth. Fact is that
Lies.
as we were watching this race come together,
Wrong.
from where Mary Pat and I were sitting at home in New Jersey, we were really concerned that nobody would tell the truth in this race about what's really at stake. And no one would tell the truth about Donald Trump. No one would tell the truth about his divisiveness, his stoking of anger for his own benefit.
Remember what I said?
And
He's
putting
bitter.
himself before the people of this country, myself included, who gave him the honor of being president of the United States from 2017 to 2021.
Oh, yeah. You're the reason he's
Personal
president?
ambition
Okay.
is a necessary element for any political candidate. You got to get out of bed in the morning and be able to really believe in your heart that you have something to offer to folks that's better and different. And so I have no argument with people who are involved in politics being ambitious. You need to have it. But it can't be what governs your decision making. Ambition can't be what makes you decide how to do things as a public figure. It could just be the fuel that gets you out of bed, that gets you in front of a room like this, that gets you on the phone raising money, that gets you working for people who you believe in and gets you working for yourself. I made a political decision 8 years ago when I dropped out of the race in 2016. I looked at the polls.
He's so
and I
preachy.
decided that Donald Trump was going to be the nominee, and that since I'd known him for 15 years, that I could make him a better candidate, and if he won, maybe a better president. I knew his flaws, but I also knew he was going to win the nomination. So I decided that I would get behind him and support him. I let the ambition get ahead and in control of the decision making. And after I figured that out, I promised myself and I promised my wife that I would never, ever do that again. And I'm not going to. So for all the people who have been in this race, who have put their own personal ambition ahead of what's right, they will ultimately have to answer the same questions that I had to answer after my decision in 2016.
Womp womp.
Those questions don't ever leave.
Womp
Facts are
womp.
really stubborn.
We get a womp
They
womp
stay.
in the chat.
And so I know how I'm answering those questions. I've never believed that Donald Trump was a foregone conclusion as our nominee in this race. And I knew that the case had to be made against him. Now, there are people in our party
Here it comes.
who are resigned the fact that he was going to be the nominee, resigned with the fact that the case didn't even need to be made because it would be a waste of time. They sat on the sidelines, and all they did was voice their opposition in private, behind closed doors, quietly, so no one could hear.
Womp
And that's
womp.
not leadership, everybody. That's cowardice. It's cowardice and it's hypocrisy. As a party, we need to be willing to take the responsibility
I'm gonna show you the
for
live
the
chat at the
part
same
we've
time.
played in getting here. Our country is angry, it's divided, it's accomplishing little, and it is leading our citizens to be exhausted. And you just look at what's happening just in the last few days. Good people who got into politics, I believe, for the right reasons. People like Senator John Barrasso, people like Congressman Tom Emmer, stand up and endorse Donald Trump. They know better. I know they know better.
Womp
People who
womp.
continue to deny the results of the 2020 election. People in leadership in the House who go on TV and say that the people who attacked the Capitol on January 6th
I'm trying to show you the live
hostages.
chat because the live chat is too funny. You guys got to
I'll
see
tell
it.
you who hostages are.
All right.
The Israelis who are still being hidden in tunnels
This is the
in
funniest.
Gaza against their will, out of no fault of their own. These people speak louder for the folks who attacked our Capitol on January 6th than they are willing to stand up and speak for the people of Israel who are in tunnels in Gaza. That's not leadership. That's ambition and cowardice, which has outstripped their otherwise good judgment. We want to change this party, and if we want to change this country, it's hard work. It's not easy. From the moment I got into the race, the decision that I made was really simple. I would rather lose by telling the truth than lie in order to win. And I feel no differently today, because this is a fight for the soul of our party and the soul of our country.
Get on
Why
with
have
it.
we resisted the calls to drop out of this race? Because unlike some of the other candidates, we're fighting for something bigger than
Because you have nothing to
ourselves.
do. Get
We're
on
fighting
with
for
it.
something bigger than self-interest. We're fighting for something bigger than the next title.
Womp womp.
I've got plenty of titles. I had enough titles to last me the rest of my life. U.S. attorney, governor, husband, father, son, brother. I had enough titles to last me for the rest of my life. We're fighting for something bigger. And it's something that conventional wisdom thinkers just can't possibly understand. And so they've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks, because some polls, that I should drop out of the race, that I should get out for that reason. The smallness of the campaigns, who spend more time arguing and worrying about who should get out of the race than they have spent going after the front runner. They spend all their time saying, oh, Christie should get out, Scott should get out, Pence should get out, Hutchinson should get out, Burgum should get out. They and their donors have a different
Okay, are you dropping out or what?
To try to minimize the attention to their own campaign.
Vamonos, hurry up.
How their own campaign is a campaign that doesn't play to win. It's a campaign.
You don't play to win clearly either.
Not offend. The problems in our country.
Bro's talking about playing to win when he's at 2%.
And influx at our border. The problems with our enormous debt. The failures of our education system. All of those things and much more will not be solved by people who are too afraid to talk about what the real problems are. If we ever have a hope of restoring this party to be a governing party of principles, we have to be willing to do the hard work and take some of the heat that comes with it.
2024 pounds.
We have candidates in this race who have run away from forums where they were afraid they were going to be booed. I run into the forums where I know I'm going to be booed, because being booed for telling the truth is a badge of honor.
Womp womp.
I'm proud of everything we've said and done.
Butter
so
9000 says vote for Christie.
And I'm proud of all the people who have supported us and are willing to do what needs to be done to restore the soul of our country. See, because in the end, all those issues that we've talked about at all the town halls, they're all really important. But they're no more important than the most important issue, and that is the character of the candidate. You don't know what's going to come across the next president's desk. You think you can predict it, but you can't. No one asked George W. Bush or Al Gore what they would do if 4 airliners were hijacked and flown into symbols of American power and killing thousands of Americans. No one asked them that in New Hampshire in 2000. But I was glad we had a man of character sitting behind the desk in the Oval Office when that attack came.
Can you hurry
George
up?
Bush would do
I got
everything he
stuff to
needed
do
to protect this country and its people and put them first, not himself first. Imagine just for a moment if 9/11 had happened with Donald Trump behind the desk. The first thing he would have done was run to the bunker to protect himself. He would have put himself first before this country. And anyone who is unwilling to say that he is unfit to be president of the United States is unfit themselves to be president of the United States. Campaigns are run to win.
He's going to tell you to vote for the Democrat.
That's why we do them.
That's what's
See
happening.
The chairman here in New Hampshire, he knows.
It's coming.
We run campaigns to win. My goal has never been to be just a voice against the hate and the division and the selfishness of what our party has become under Donald Trump. It's also been to win the nomination and defeat Joe Biden and restore our party and our country to a new place of hope and optimism in this country. I've always said that if there came a point in time in this race where I couldn't see a path to accomplishing that goal, that I would get out. And it's clear to me
Okay, here it
tonight
comes.
that there isn't a path for me to win the nomination. which is why I'm suspending my campaign tonight for President of the United States.
Dun dun.
I know.
Dun, 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 dun,
And I can see it from some of the faces here that I'm disappointing some people by doing this.
Yeah, they look so disappointed. Look at them.
People who believe in our message and believe in what we've been doing.
Look how sad they are.
I also know, though,
They've had the same
right
expression the whole
for me to
speech.
do. Because I want to promise you this. I am going to make sure that in no way do I enable Donald Trump to ever be president of the United States again.
He's going to tell you to vote for the
And
Democrats.
that's more
Watch.
important than my own personal ambition.
Oh, look at poor grandma. Chris, you're going to make a grandma cry. On your right, 3 o'clock. She's about to cry. How do you feel, Chris Christie? How does it feel to make an old woman cry?
So we have to decide now.
You dingus.
We have to decide in the
You
next
nincompoop.
10 months. Who do we want to be as a country?
I love the guy who keeps saying
forget
2%
That
Chris.
people are walking thousands of miles still to get here. We talk about the problems in the border, and there are problems, and we have to fix them. And we have to secure our border, and we have to do it in a way that's smart and sensible and will work. Because it's not right to have a porous southern border in this country. But I want you to remember something. Those people who are coming over that border, many of them are walking hundreds, if not thousands of miles to get there. Because here is where they see hope. Here is where they see freedom. Here is where they see success. Here is where they see that flag, which means for them, thousands of miles away in other countries, all of those principles. We are still the indispensable nation to the rest of the world. We need to be the indispensable nation once again to each other. We need to believe in America as much as they believe in America. Right now, they believe in America in a way that this country, angry, divided, with selfish leadership.
Oh, yeah, take the side
puts
of the
their own
migrants. Yeah, that's
ambition
what everyone
first.
wants to hear. That's Republican.
Isn't doing for our country anymore. We need to change that. And every election is an opportunity to change it. We have people in this race, all they will do is tell you how bad everything is, how angry we should be. And there's certainly sufficient reason for anger at the failures of the leaders we've selected. But they're doing it not for that reason. It's not a moment of honesty and transparency, believe me. It's not. It's because they believe when we get angry, what we'll do is naturally relate to the angriest voice in the room.
That's
Donald
you!
Trump wants you to be angry every day.
You're just angry at Trump.
because he's angry.
No, you're
he wants
angry.
you to be angry
Look at you.
so that you'll relate
The
to
dude looks like a
his anger.
troll. He's an angry
to vote
troll
for
underneath
him.
the New Jersey Turnpike.
Please understand this. I have known him well for 22 years, more than anybody else in this race has known him. And I can promise you this, if you put him back behind the desk in the Oval Office and a choice comes and a decision is needed to be made as to whether he puts himself first or he puts you first, how much more evidence do you need that he will pick himself?
He's auditioning to be a CNN contributor right
and
now.
if that is what we
So
have
obvious.
there, then people are going to remain angry, remain divided,
In fact, I'm going to tweet that.
and become even more exhausted than they are today. The country that I think we should choose is the country that recognizes that our differences have always been our strength, not a weakness, not something to divide us and anger us, but our differences have been our strength. We've come from different countries at different times to different places. with different skills, with different religions. And yet, only here can those people become an American. You can't go to Germany and become a German. You can't come to Great Britain and become British. But you can come here and become an American, a real part of this country. The moment we become a place where people no longer want to come in search of a better, freer, stronger nation, that will be the real problem that will be harder to solve. We back our allies around the world, and they shouldn't have to think twice about having America's support. Yet
All right, I
we have
tweeted
petty
it.
politics interfering with supporting freedom fighters in Ukraine. We have
And
petty
why did you
politics
block the
interfering
bridge?
with defending our friends in Israel. We have petty politics interfering with making sure Taiwan is armed to fight off the Chinese. They use
You
the
are
border
playing
as
petty
an
politics.
excuse not to do those things.
You are the epitome
How
of petty
about
politics.
We have a country where we can do all those
Exactly,
things.
Michael, in live chat right
Because
here.
leadership aspires to something greater, not to appealing to the lowest common denominator.
I'm going to put a
Which is
womp
what the
womp.
leadership of the last decade and a half in the White House has done, including the current president. We need a country that once again feels like everyone has a stake in what we're doing. That we
Look
can
at this
bring people
crowd.
together.
Can't you just feel the energy?
And it's
It's
hard.
palpable. It really
it's hard
is.
to do that. I did it for 8 years in New Jersey, in a Democratic state, with a Republican governor. And it's hard, because we have real disagreements. But those disagreements are small compared to the things that we have in common. But it takes effort. We have to work at it. We have to believe that the other person has a rightful place in our country. We have to believe.
Are you ever gonna
that
stop
whether we agree
yapping?
with them or not, they got elected too, and they have a right to have a voice and to be
This
heard.
guy is like the teacher who
have a
always goes
vote.
past the bell
have
and
a
you're late
count.
to your next class because he just doesn't stop talking.
This
And it's
race
like,
has always
okay,
been
class,
bigger
we did half
than
of what
me.
I wanted to do, and
It's
then I
bigger
just
than any one
yapped for
person
the
if
other
you do it
half.
the right way. I tried to change
What are you even talking about?
conversation in this race.
You're just
tried to
preaching.
force
Like, shut up.
a conversation in this race. A conversation about the real thing that's going on here.
Look, even the
I
people in
stood
the
on those
audience
debate
are like,
stages,
okay, can I go home
every
now?
one of them, the pundits in the media and the professional politicians
This
who worked
character,
for other
bro.
campaigns
This
said I
guy.
wasn't going to make any of them. Right? Before every debate, no, Christie won't make this one. No, we make this one. I made every one of them. But when I stood on there, I watched the other candidates arguing with each other as if the race was between us, pretending as if the guy who's in front and wasn't there wasn't to be spoken about. Like Voldemort in the Harry Potter books, he who shall not be named, because they feared even bringing up his name
Okay, do you guys want to keep watching this,
would
or
make him appear
do we basically
with his
get it by
magical,
now?
mystical powers.
Because this
and
speech
their
might go an
political
hour,
careers.
and I gotta do
So
some
they
stuff
say
and prepare for the
ridiculous things.
mainstream tonight with
Make
the debates and
ridiculous
stuff.
points.
So, but let me know.
And let me tell you, if Donald Trump becomes the nominee of this party, the moment that it happened was when Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis and Tim Scott and Mike Pence and Doug Burgum and Vivek Ramaswamy stood on that stage in Milwaukee in August. And when we were asked, would you support someone who is a convicted felon to be president of the United States, they raised their hands. Give Ron credit, he had to look at everybody else first to see if he wanted to raise his hand, but then he raised his hand. Kind of like cheating off somebody's paper in high school. They raised their hands. And I did not. And will not.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
And I cannot countenance.
Even Nikki
That
Haley thought
behavior.
you're crazy for that.
I want you to imagine for a second that Jefferson and Hamilton and Adams and Washington and Franklin were sitting here tonight, do you think they could imagine that the country they risked their lives to create would actually be having a conversation about whether a convicted criminal should be president of the United States? I can't tell you how many people in New Hampshire have asked me, why isn't there a law against that? The answer is because nobody ever thought that someone
No,
would
the
have
founders did that
audacity
intentionally. You're wrong.
to run for president as a criminal.
Because they didn't want the political system
And
to
they
be
never
used against
thought
people like that.
any American electorate would actually support it. It's not their fault that they didn't put it in the Constitution, along with 35 years old and a natural-born American citizen. They didn't think, let's throw in here, and not a criminal. They thought maybe we'd get that part. We're going to show them now whether we do or we don't in the next 10 months. Do we get it or don't we? I'm out here.
Oh, audio
saying
almost
what I'm
went out.
saying for the last 8 months because I didn't want to take the chance that you might not get it. I wanted to be the voice that was telling you this is unacceptable. We
And you
deserve
failed.
better. And now there's some people who want the courts to save us. It's not up to the courts to save us. I remember what Benjamin Franklin said. I'm sure many of you do too. When he was walking down the street in Philadelphia after the Constitutional Convention, and a woman approached him on the street and said, "Mr. Franklin, what kind of government did you give us?" And he said to the woman, "A republic, if you can keep it." Benjamin Franklin's words were never more relevant in America than they are right now. The last time they were this relevant was the Civil War, which of course we know was caused by slavery. The last time those words were that relevant, back in those days.
I'm sorry, I zoned
And
out. Is
now
he still
we are
going?
confronted
Oh, he's still going. Okay.
160 years later with that question again. A republic, if we can keep it. It's up to you. I've been running ads all over New Hampshire, ending it, saying it's up to you. And it is. It's not up to me. I've done everything I can. And
So sad.
it's not about me. The other
did all he
candidates,
could,
some of them
Chad.
have made it about them. It's okay. But when you forget that the privilege to serve in public office is not about you, but about the people who give you the privilege.
Gosh, I
And you
really
lose your
wonder
way.
why this guy went nowhere in the primary. He's such a motivating and
tonight-
inspiring person, isn't he?
Is a sad night for me and for Mary Pat, because believe it or not, we really love the people in this state. We loved being here. Both of our experiences in 2016 and 2024, and coming to New Hampshire and holding 2-hour town hall meetings and answering every question has been one of the great joys and honors of our lives. The relationships we've made here have been lifelong relationships now that we're going to keep going forward, no matter what else we do with our lives and our careers. I look around this room and see so many people who have been to so many of these meetings and have been so wonderfully supportive of us. I'd start to name names, but then I'd screw that up. And I'd forget somebody who was really important to us. So I'm not going to do that. You know who you are. And you know how much we treasure our relationships with you. But I will mention one person, because she texted me, it's either last night or this morning,
Gosh.
and she said to me,
He just
please,
goes on
please
and
don't
on
drop
and
out.
on. He's like the
We need
teacher
you.
in Charlie Brown. Mock, 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 mock.
And that was our friend Tony Pappas, And
Unbelievable.
because I had decided at that moment in my heart, and so had Mary Pat, that we were going to, I didn't respond to you because I didn't want to lie to you. But I turned to Mary Pat and I handed her the phone and showed her. I said, these are the kind of people that we're fighting for. The people who believe that what we have to offer is something important.
Chat,
and
this stream
special,
is about to be an
that what
hour
we're
long.
talking about matters.
Can you believe that?
And
1 hour
it
of
meant
this
a lot
crap.
to me to get that text from you, Tony, because I know that you've been through a lot of campaigns here in this state, and to hear from you that you wanted me to stay made me feel guilty, but also made me feel wonderful. And you know, both those feelings can exist at the same time. And I thank you for that. And what Tony, and I pointed out what Tony is represented by a lot of people in this room who we've heard from over the last few weeks. And we appreciate it very much. We appreciate your friendship, your hospitality, your warmth, your questions, your challenges.
I might need a
and everything
coffee
that
at
you
the end of
provided
this. This
to
guy
us,
seriously put me to sleep.
in this state, both 8 years ago
Almost out of coffee.
and over the last 8 months. I'll just end with this.
He's ending? Let's go!
I believe
Da,
I've
da,
always
da, da.
that this is the greatest
Oh,
country
thank God.
that the world has ever seen. And I still believe that today. The phrase, "Make America Great Again," has always offended me because it implied that America wasn't great.
Guy sounds
America
like
is
Obama
great.
now.
It was great long before those red hats showed up, and it will be great long after they are consigned to history. This country is a great country. And the only thing that stops us from having it be greater is our willingness to work hard enough.
The live
to make
chat
it
is the most
greater.
entertaining thing. I'm
It is
glad I
not
put it up
easy
there.
to stand up and fight for what we believe in when the wind is blowing in our face.
Richard S.
It is not easy to stand up and fight the loudest voice in the room. It isn't easy to look at someone who we know is unfit and
Look at Richard
unable
S. in the live
to
chat.
represent what the heart of this country really is, and tell them, thank you for your
He's still
service.
going.
It's time for you to go home. But that's what we need to do in the next 10 months if we are going to keep
Oh, what a
in
patriot.
concert
What a
with the
patriot. Look at him.
spirit
He's still going.
of this country. I don't know how anybody could want to be president of the United States if they don't love America. And you cannot love America if you don't love every American. Love the Americans who look different than you. Love the Americans who
Look at
speak
him.
different than you. Love the Americans who think different than you.
He's still going.
Love the Americans who believe and have faith that is different than yours. We have had Donald Trump and other candidates in this race say they don't want people coming to this country if there's not of our religion. We don't have a religion in America.
What a patriot. Look at
Our
this guy.
Constitution is founded on there being no national religion. Yet we're abandoning that too by continuing to respond positively to the siren song of someone who would actually say something like that as a candidate for president of the United States, meant to only divide.
What are you even talking about?
If we don't stand for those principles,
I don't care. I'm just
we
watching
will be
Richard
the
S.
generation that gave this country away. I refuse. When I got into this race,
This is the
I
greatest
refused.
live chat in YouTube
And
history.
tonight, even though I'm suspending this campaign, I am not going away. And my voice is not going away. And I'm going to continue to say all the things that I've said and whatever platforms are permitted to me as we go forward, the very same things and new things that I'm sure I will have the opportunity to comment on as we go forward. Because I'm not going to be part of the generation that gives this country away.
Too late.
I am not going to be part of a
Too late.
generation who willingly stands by and says, it's too hard, he's too loud, he's too strong. That's what defeat looks and sounds like. And the only country that can defeat America is America. And the only people that can stop it are us. So I thank you for the enormous honor to have the chance to run for President of the United States again. I thank you for your
He's gonna cry!
time to listen to what I've had to say and to give it thought and consideration. I thank you for the opportunity to come into your homes, into your neighborhoods, into your schools, into your churches, and to be able to make the case for the kind of America that I hope we have. And I thank you, most of all, for with your attendance at these events and your questions, for continuing to renew my faith in America and Americans. I love this country because my heart is open to every American and every person
Except
who
Trump.
cares about making
And
this
his
a better
supporters.
place. And so while I'm disappointed by the results of this election, I will never be disappointed by the opportunity and experience that I've had. And I promise
Richard
you that
S.
in
is
whatever
back.
way Mary Pat and I can figure out, we're going to continue to fight for you and for this country in a way that will make you proud that we met.
The guy's a
I'm
machine.
proud
Look at him.
to have met all of you through this process. So thank you for coming tonight, and thank you for all your support. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, that was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. But it's finally over, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. Christie drops out of the presidential race. I will allow you to keep watching the live chat for your own entertainment there on your right. But yeah, I don't have much else to say. Okay? You know, in an ironic sense, we're kind of going to miss the guy, to tell you the truth. Okay? Because, you know, but like I said, it's not about the fat jokes. It's about the friends you made along the way. This is also real. But anyways, yeah, Christie has dropped out. I'll read super chats. I got a survey to run by you guys, and then we'll end this stream. And like I said, be sure to tune in to us at 9 p.m. Eastern time for the main event tonight. This was actually an emergency stream. It was not planned. It was a last minute thing. So be sure to tune in at 9 o'clock. We're either going to be... Actually, okay, let me ask you guys that right now. So tonight, there's 3 events going on at the same time. There's the quote-unquote GOP debate on CNN between Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. Trump is doing a town hall with Fox News, and Vivek is doing a town hall with Tim Pool. So I guess the question is, what do you guys want me to stream and react to? I haven't actually decided that for myself. And before everyone just says stream the Trump town hall, because I know everyone's going to say that, my only thing with it is I don't know if it would be best for content, because, you know, what is it going to be? Oh yeah, I agree with you, Trump. Yeah, you know, like it's, whereas what I'm thinking is a couple different things. I think the Vivek town hall might be interesting, although I'm not really whatever on that either. But with the Nikki and Ron debate, I feel like, I mean, you guys are always entertained. Clearly, I see the numbers every time we're reacting to Nikki Haley and I'm just going off on her. And of course, it'll be on CNN. So I feel like that might actually make the best content. I guess DeSantis, like, I'm pretty apathetic towards overall as a candidate. So it's like, whatever. But with Nikki, I feel like it would be the best content and I would have the most fun reacting to that. but I assume most of you guys are going to say you want the Trump town hall. And so I don't know. I might run a poll on it. I might not. I'm just going to figure out and decide for myself, honestly, most likely. But let me know what you guys want me to react to at 9 p.m. tonight, because they're all going on at the same time, which I understand why. They're all kind of protesting each other. But come on, we're trying to make content here, and they're not being very nice to us, truly. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that in the live chat. With that said, I'll read the super chats. We'll call it a stream, and then we will see you guys at 9 p.m. Eastern time. But all right, on to our super chats here. Let me see. Where did we leave off? I know I missed one from GOP Josh, so let's let me see. Did I find it? Hold on. He sent one about 7:14 somewhere, and it didn't show up in the Streamlabs. So sorry about that, GOP Josh. I know you said something. I think you said never forget 7:14. I think that's what he said. All right, where did we leave off here? I believe it was this one. Okay, Wumpy for $5 says, Krispy Kreme. Come on, man. Krispy Kreme Christie. My bad. Come on, man. This is so true. That is basically the sentiment. Okay, thank you for the 5. God bless you. Wumpy. Let's see. Sam Madsen for 2 says, Vince stole my cigars. This is just frankly slander and defamation at this point, okay? You stole my Zin, Sam. I watched you. Okay, I watched you do it. So, I do not tolerate the slander. Okay, Chinkster for $10 says, what are your thoughts on the book Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates? We had to read it in my AP Lang class. It pushes the narrative of CRT. Could you make a video debunking the book? Well, Chinkster, I've never read the book, Between the World and Me. I'm not even really familiar with what it is. But I assume it's a woke book being given out in AP classes these days. Not surprising. But yeah, I mean, if I ever have the chance to sit down and read it, I could check it out. But I've never read it. So there's your answer. I mean, if you want to give me a summary and then tell me what I think of it, feel free to. But I've never read the book personally. But thank you for the 10, Chinkster. Chaotic Antifreeze for $2 says, bring back immigration quotas. I 100% agree. We need to be limiting the amount of people who are coming into this country. Okay, we have an unrestricted system, basically, both legal and illegal. It's too much. It's overwhelming everything. And this is true. We do need to do that. Okay, Pro-American for $5 says, how many Whoppers do you think Christie could down in a minute? Well, how long does it take to sing the Whopper, Whopper, Whopper song? What about, like, I think it's 30 seconds long? A minute times 2? I'm going to say that equates to about 72.45 Whoppers. Okay, how did I do the math? Don't ask. Asian brain skills, okay? But that's a precise calculation, and I will not have you question it. But yeah, thank you for the 5. God bless you, Pro-American. Soup Person for $5 says, Christ is king. That is all. So true. Thank you for the 5. God bless you, Soup Person. And let me see. Are we all caught up? Did I miss anything? I believe we're all caught up. Okay, with that said, all right, let me gauge in the chat what people want to watch. Me, personally, I'm leaning towards reacting to the Nikki Haley one. Just because, again, like, it's content. You know what I mean? I actually have things to say. But let's see what people actually think. Let me see. Let me take a look here. Where was I even saying it? Let me see. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the chat in terms of, do you want the Trump town hall, the Ramaswamy town hall, or the Nikki Haley DeSantis debate? Also, it's a debate, right? So at least it'll be kind of interesting. I don't know. Because I also feel like, realistically, Nikki's probably going to drop out after South Carolina. So we want to kind of like witness the downfall to the very end. But I don't know. Let's see what people are saying. Okay. Someone said Tim Pool asks interesting questions. That is true. But at the same time, it's like the Tim Pool one's already going to be on YouTube, and he's a YouTuber, so it's like, do we necessarily need to watch that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, tomorrow we'll probably do review videos on all 3, but it's just a question of which one do we want to watch live. Let me just put a poll out. You know what? Let's just do a poll out. Okay. What do you want us to stream? You want us to stream at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Haley DeSantis debate. Trump. Okay. Trump town hall with Fox. Vivek town hall with Tim Pool. And again, like I said, guys, before you just go vote for the Trump one, consider like what's the best content. Okay? Because if we watch the Trump one, I'm not going to have a lot to say. If you watch the Vivek one, it might be sort of interesting. If we watch the Nikki Haley one, you know I'll have a lot to say and we'll kind of have fun tearing her apart. So let's see. Okay, 67% say you want the regular GOP debate. Very interesting. Okay, well, I guess that basically settles it then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at 9 p.m. Eastern time, be sure to tune in and we will be watching live the Nikki Haley Ron DeSantis debate because clearly that's what you guys have been requesting and what you guys want. So, yeah, let's hope CNN doesn't copyright us. Okay, many such cases. It's fair use, CNN, you dirtbags. But, okay, well, I guess that's what we're doing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we will be live streaming and reacting to the GOP debate, and you will get to watch me 3 days in a row. This is now 3 days in a row, because we did a video, today's what, Wednesday? We did a video Monday attacking Nikki Haley. We did a video Tuesday attacking Nikki Haley, and now we will be doing a stream on Wednesday attacking Nikki Haley. Many say it's one of my favorite things to do, truly. But yeah, okay. With that said, folks, be sure to leave a like on the stream. And last call for any super chats. I will go till 6:10 p.m. So in 3 minutes, we'll end the stream. So if you got any last super chats, feel free to send them in now. But yeah, you guys seem to overwhelmingly actually want to watch the Haley DeSantis debate, which I really didn't expect. But to tell you the truth, that's kind of what I wanted to do the most. Because like I said, I figured it'd be the best content. So I guess that's what we're doing. 9 p.m. Eastern, yes. 9 p.m. Eastern. Call them racist, Dow. Well, why are they racist? I don't understand that. I hope DeSantis makes Nimrata cry. Yeah, no, we will be rooting for DeSantis, okay, in this debate. Because of the remaining candidates, she is by far the worst and the most dangerous. In fact, I was saying that for several months now. So, you know, I think people understand that. We got a $5 super chat from Gianna who says, oh, wait, no. Okay, I don't know why that just popped up. I already saw that one. You wish you had Chris Crispy's model thighs. Admit it. Thank you for the $5, Gianna. I don't know if you sent that twice, but it just popped up again on my screen for some reason. But yeah, like I said, ending the stream here in 1 minute. So any last call for super chats? Let's see. Vince, can you do 3 streams on different days? Watch one tonight and then others the next 2. Well, I'm going to do videos on all 3. I'm going to do videos recapping all 3 most likely. Unless, like, I don't know. I might not do the Trump one if like nothing really happens or nothing takes place. But most likely I'll be doing all 3. Maybe I'll combine some of them. But by tomorrow, we will do content talking about all of them. But it's just a question of which one do we want to react to live. So... But let's see here. Okay, if we got no other super chats, it is basically about 6:10 p.m. Should be in a couple seconds. So with that said, folks, thanks for tuning in. Again, 9 p.m. Be sure to join us back here. It's good to be back. Welcome to 2024. First stream of 2024, and we had some great numbers, okay? So we love to see it. Let's keep it up at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Be sure to leave a like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And until I see you in a couple hours, Alpha Moves only. God bless. Have a very good day and peace.